Shout outs to Archie, Carrie, Evan, Mila, Nate, and Peter.
The Red School Bus Podcast. Rated E for everyone.
This episode is brought to you by our patrons like Archie Wheeler, who support the show on a monthly basis. Join the club and get your own Red School Bus sticker and support your favorite podcast. Sign up today at patreon.com/redschoolbus.
Why does that school bus have all those red lights on it? Why does that school bus have a spotted dog? Red school bus. Why is that school bus putting out a flyer? Get red school bus. Why are all those firemen on a red school bus? Red school bus.
Hey, how you doing? You're listening to Red School Bus, where we tell hilarious real-life stories and invite you to do the same. It's episode 63, brought to you the week of September 28th, 2021. I'm your host. My name is James, and my co-host, Young James, is here. Welcome back to the show, Young James.
Hello.
That's what I decided.
James from another universe.
You are James from another universe. He is actually a younger version of me, and he's from the past. And I just want to give you some advice, okay?
Okay.
Don't ever join Facebook. That's
Wasn't planning on it.
All right, great. Well, you do later in life, and it just causes all kinds of problems. So I was just letting you know, younger me. Well, anyway, welcome to the show. We're excited that you're here and you're listening. And we always like to start with a story because telling stories is what we're all about. And this one comes from Cole from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's called Naughty Noodle. It's kind of gross, by the way. My name is Cole, and I'm 13, and boy, do I have a story for you. So when I was younger, I was eating dinner with my dad. My mom was at the store. Me and my dad were watching TV, and I was eating spaghetti. And I felt one noodle that would not go down, which I don't understand because noodles are wet, and they should slide right down your throat. But I digress. I was basically choking, and it wouldn't go down. So my solution was to reach back and grab it right out of my throat and pull it out, the whole noodle, and placed it back on the plate. And then the gross part. I mean, first part is gross because he pulled it out of his throat. But then he put it on his plate and he forked it back into his mouth and he finished his dinner. Ah!
Say one thing. That's what I used to do.
Ah! Me and my dad had a good laugh about that, and now the whole family does too. Love y'all's podcast and hope this makes it on the show. Cole from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You used to do that? That is super gross. I can handle you pulling it out of your throat, but once it's been down the throat, it's now throat noodles, and throat noodles should not be eaten. They should be thrown away or fed to an unlikely dog, because dogs don't care. You know? Do cats eat noodles?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
They are very picky.
I've never owned a cat. So dogs, though, are not very picky, and they will eat just about anything that you offer to them.
Yeah, cats will mainly eat just cat food.
Oh,
if it's
okay.
an inside cat.
So they don't beg?
They do, but usually when you throw down chicken or something, they don't accept it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they beg for no reason.
Oh, that is annoying.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like
so
cats.
Then you gotta pick up food off the floor.
Dude, our dogs will eat anything. They will eat, talking about noodles, before they're cooked, they're dry and straight and fragile. And my wife will break them in half and pieces of them will fly and hit the ground, and the dogs will eat the dry noodles off the ground, the spaghetti noodles. So, I don't know, man. Dogs are a lot less picky, I guess. Well, it's time for Q&A with James. All right, this is where we ask James some questions. Young James, that is. James, are you ready to answer some questions?
Yes.
Okay. These are not difficult questions. You should know all the answers. You did not need to study in advance.
All right.
So you're going to get a good grade. All right.
Okay.
Do you like to draw?
I do like to draw.
Okay. What kind of stuff do you draw when you draw?
I usually just draw like everyday items like cameras or jars.
So still life type stuff?
Yeah,
Stuff you see and can reference and things?
but I mostly have to draw for school.
Ah. When you draw for fun or when you were drawing when you were younger, did you draw anything else when you were like younger?
I used to draw like rooms where I would want to live.
Ah. And what kind of stuff would be in them?
Like a bed and maybe something hanging on the wall. That's kind of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I used to I didn't draw it, but I used to pretend I would lean off the edge of my bed and put my feet in the air, and I would pretend that my bedroom was upside down and I was walking on the ceiling.
Yeah,
And-
so I like to pretend to
Yeah. And another time I pretended that the water was filling my room and that I could swim through it. And of course I could breathe underwater too, so it wasn't a terrible thing, because if your room was suddenly full of water and you couldn't breathe underwater, that would be a terrible thing. But anyway, question number 2, if you could time travel, which I'm assuming you can't, but if you could, would you visit the future or the past?
I would visit the future so I could meet the future self of me.
Oh, well, there you go.
Hmm.
And what would you tell the future you,
Uh,
like advice wise?
you were a weird child.
What if he already knew that?
I will tell him, hey, have you played the latest Minecraft version yet?
Oh, yeah, because that is true. Because Minecraft, I think, is going to be one of those games that lasts forever.
Yeah.
I really believe that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see in 10 years if it's still around. But yeah, that's crazy. All right. Question number 3. What is the best animal? And it
I like
doesn't
the
have
cat.
to be a pet. It can be any animal. What is the best animal in your opinion?
Either cat,
Mm-hmm.
and I also like the elephant.
Cat and the elephant. So if a cat and an elephant got in a fight, who would win?
Probably the cat because elephants are afraid of mice, which is odd.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh, really?
I think
Well,
that's a cartoon thing.
Oh. Yeah.
I think it is. I don't think it's really true. I think I've seen mice go by elephants and they're just like, yeah, whatever. But so a cat would win in a fight with an elephant.
Now
I-
that I know that.
I would put my money on the elephant myself because
Yeah.
the size of their feet,
Hmm.
they got big feet. They got a handle on the front of their face called a trunk. Could sling a cat a million miles. I don't know. Anyway, it's your test. So if you say a cat could win, then a cat could win.
Yeah.
He could just climb up on his back and not fight at all. Is what he could do. So
Yeah.
just chilling up there on the elephant's back. Say, give me a ride, dude, and don't try to give me no chicken, even if I ask for it. So question number 4. If you had to give everyone in the family new names, and I'm talking about human family members here, what would they be?
Okay.
Your dad's name is John, for instance. What would
Yeah.
you change his name to? Anything.
Mr. Fart Creator.
Your dad has been a fart creator as long as I've known him, and I've known him since he was in middle school, I think. Like,
Yeah, well, I've known him for 12 years.
yeah. So he has been a fart guy for all of that time, and before him, your grandmother was. So anyway,
Oh,
yeah, it's true.
yeah.
So Johnny is your brother's name. What would you change his name to?
Show off PC Builder.
Ah. So how do you spell that?
It's exactly how it sounds, but with all hyphens.
Oh, okay. That works. And then yourself, James. What would you change your name to if you could? I would change my name to Skippy, for instance, and just go by Skip, of course.
Sugar Daddy.
Daddy. That's the worst name in the world. No.
What? No, it's not.
Oh, just because that's
I
what
give my dad Mr. Fart Creator. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, whenever somebody asks me for a name, like at Chick-fil-A or whatever, they always ask you your name. They say, "Can I get a name?" And I realized a long time ago they don't ask for your name; they ask for a name. So I always say Skip, and that way, whenever they announce my food, I always hear it, because James, if they just call out James, there's a million Jameses out there, and James sounds a lot like John and Jonathan and anything with a J. So I always say, "Yeah, my name's Skip." So I used to say my name is Mr. Samersensington, and they would look at me like, "What?" I was like, "Just kidding. It's Skip." All right. So if you wrote a book, what would it be about?
My entire life.
Your entire life. Your 12 years of life. And what would it be called?
Sugar Daddy. No, it'd be like Life of James or something.
The Life of James or something. I like that title. I would read that. All right. And what would be some of the features in your ultimate dream treehouse?
Have to have a bunch of beanbag chairs.
Right.
With a PS5.
Okay. And electricity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
air conditioning.
Big bowl that has a bunch of sugar daddies in it.
Oh, you got that sugar daddy joke. You're going to ride that train all the way. Yeah, in my dream treehouse, I'm with you. There would have to be a bathroom. You know, I know it doesn't sound like a perk, but when you have to go and you're in a treehouse, you don't want to have to climb down, go all the way in the house. You know, you need the toilet in the treehouse, in its own little separate treehouse room. So, when your mom calls you and says, "Come in for dinner," and you're like, "Mom, I'm going to the bathroom in the tree." Yeah, I'm the first human in the world to ever go to the bathroom in a tree. And that's the way we're going to keep it. So anyway, thanks for answering question and answers with Q&A with James. We have a brief announcement, and it's this. If you want a Red School Bus t-shirt and you've always wanted one, you can get one now at shirt.rsbcast.com. That's shirt.rsb for Red School Bus, cast.com, and they're super cool, and they are available for you. They come in several different colors, and they have all of the kids' sizes and stuff like that, and it's part of a bigger thing. If you go to store.nlcast.com, you can see all the designs that I make for t-shirts. So, but if you want to look at the RSB Red School Bus t-shirt, go to shirt.rsbcast.com or store.nlcast.com for more selections. All right, we got some reviews, and we love it when people leave us reviews on iTunes. This one's from Farside5. He says, "Yes, it's back. I love the show so much. Me and my brother love the show and are happy that it's back." Well, we're glad to be back too. Isn't that right, James?
Yeah.
Yeah. James is very excited. He's so very excited. Doxies, I guess, says, "Maximum James. As a fellow dad, I was happy to read that James K," that's me, "ultimately outcooled his son Jay with the brilliant idea to double the James factor and bring on an awesome and new young co-host, James S. What he may not have realized is just in time for Halloween, he accidentally transformed the podcast from Red School Bus into James Kinnestein's Monster Truck, and it's glorious." Wow. James Kinestein. I guess that's what you would get if you mixed us both together and turned us into a robot monster truck.
Or would it be James Kennestein?
Yeah, James plural Kinestein. James I don't know.
Or James.
Yeah, just the James. Just secretly, just so you know, people, Jay's name was secretly James the whole time too. We just call him Jay. So there's always been a lot of Jameses, and apparently it's the rule. If you want to be on this show, you have to have a name that starts with J, and it really helps if it's James. So there you go. It's time for our surprise segment. Let's spin the wheel. All right. It is 20 questions. What we have to do is I have to think of something, and you have 20 questions that you can ask me to try to guess what I'm thinking of. All right. So
Okay.
I will try to keep track on my fingers how many questions you've asked. I have an item in mind. It is a normal, ordinary item, nothing fancy, nothing from the future, nothing from, fantasy or anything like that. It's just a normal thing.
Okay.
So go ahead and ask your questions.
Is it man-made?
Yes.
Okay. Do you eat it?
No.
Okay. Do you sit on it?
No.
Okay.
Would hurt.
Do you not sit on? Oh, is it nails?
No.
Are you able to? Is it bigger than you?
No. No, not at all.
Is it half of your size?
No. You could hold it in your hand. I'll give you that one.
Okay. Is it a spike ball?
No.
Okay. Well, you can't hold a fart in your hand.
No, you can't. So I won't count that as a question.
All right. Is it also for a game?
No.
Okay. Is
No.
it an everyday item that you use?
It's not an everyday item that you would use.
Okay.
You use it for a special time. Or I won't say special, I'll say a unique circumstance.
Unique.
Nothing special, just unique. Like
Is
when it's a tool that when you need it, you're glad you have it.
Is it toilet paper?
No. That's 10 questions. You've got 10 more. But toilet paper is a good tool. And when you need it, you're glad you have it.
Yeah. Do you carry it with you?
No.
Okay. So it's not a wallet or anything.
No.
You usually find it in someone's house.
Yes.
Okay.
But they wouldn't want you to find it.
Oh.
They wouldn't want you to know that they needed to use it.
Is it a plunger?
No. 7 more questions.
Gosh, this is hard.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Couldn't be a pencil. Do you find it in your bathroom?
I guess you could, but it doesn't necessarily go with the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a bathroom object. It can go in any room in the house.
Is it soap?
No. 5 more questions. Yeah. You never know,
Do
man.
you eat it?
Nope.
Okay.
That would be gross. It would hurt your face.
Okay, I was about to say like acid or something.
No, no, I
like
can't
that.
say. I won't count that. 4 more.
Could you throw it super far?
Yes,
Okay.
but you probably wouldn't. Trying to help you out here by
Okay,
giving you
I was about to say.
bonus information.
Yeah.
3 more. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Is it made out of metal?
Part of it is. 2 more. It's made out of wood and metal.
Okay. Is it a knife?
No. One more question. Mm-hmm.
You
Oh,
put it under your pillow?
no. You might do it for a prank because it was a mouse trap.
Ah,
Oh,
darn.
mouse trap. Oh. All right. Now it's your turn. You think of something,
Okay.
and I will try to ask you. All right.
Okay, I have it.
You have it? Okay. Is it animal, vegetable, or mineral?
I think it's a mineral.
A mineral?
Wait. Well, it has a mineral in it.
Well, it's either made of minerals, it's made of animals, or it's made of vegetables. So which one of the 3?
Minerals.
Okay. Is it something that you would eat?
No.
Okay.
You probably break your tooth.
Okay. Is it something you play a game with?
If you're a person who wants to get hurt.
Okay.
So otherwise, no.
Okay. Is it something that is a specific color?
It can come in many colors.
Okay.
So no.
All right. Do people use it as a tool?
Yes.
Okay. Does it carry something?
No.
No. Does it can you buy it at Walmart?
Probably.
Okay. That's not a very good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would say no to that.
Okay, you can't buy it at Walmart. All right. Comes in all kinds of colors. Can't buy it at Walmart. Does it have to do with the bathroom?
No.
Okay. Dang it. Thought I was getting close on something there. Is it something you'd keep in the house?
Part of your house.
Part of your house. Would it go in the kitchen?
Nope.
Bedroom?
Nope.
Closet?
Nope.
No. Living room?
No.
Goodness, what else is there?
It's a very, very large room.
A very, very large room.
Yeah.
A garage?
Yes, it is in there.
Okay. Does it have wheels?
No.
Okay. Oh. See,
You usually find it in a garage.
I've only got 6 questions left if I'm counting straight. Does it if I asked this already, it doesn't count. But if I didn't ask this already, it does count. Is it a tool?
Yes, it is a tool.
Okay.
And you already said that.
Okay. So I still have 6. It's a tool. It's in the garage, and you can't buy it at Walmart. Comes in lots of colors. Goodness, man, is it? It's not something you play a game with unless you want to get hurt. It doesn't have wheels. Is it? Does it use electricity?
If you modify it, yes, but usually no.
Usually no. Okay. If you modify it, yes.
Yeah, like add a motor to it to make it automatic.
Oh, okay. All right. Is it doesn't have wheels, so it's not a wagon. Electricity, you add a motor to it. Is it something that you would give someone for Christmas?
No.
No. So it's a tool. I got 3 more questions. This is really hard. You're right.
Yeah.
Is it a hammer?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yay! I won. I can't believe it. I didn't think it was a winner because you can buy those at Walmart.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. They got tools at Walmart. They got a little bit of everything at Walmart. But that was a good one, man. That was a good one. I was thinking about going with hammer. Well, it's time for us to tell our featured story.
Let me tell y'all a story. Let me tell y'all a story.
All right, little young James said he had a story for me this week. So what is our story today?
Okay, this story takes place a few months ago, and it was at my church.
Okay, does it have a title?
Oh, yeah, it's called The Bad Director.
Oh, okay, The Bad Director. Here we go.
And, okay, so it takes place at my church, and it's called RTC, Ranger Training Camp.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like Ranger as in forest person, it's as in Royal Ranger.
And not Space Ranger either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the first day we were there, we got to know each other, but there was this one kid I did not like. He was just, wow. Hold on, so let me tell you this part first. We got to know each other, then we directed a leader, and then I became the leader somehow. And then that kid I was mentioning earlier, whenever he was being bad or something, and it was like against the rules, I told him to stop, but he wouldn't stop.
Okay. Let's call him Frog Pants.
Frog Pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Frog Pants was always doing me bad things around the place, and
he just wasn't
one
being
night,
a good team member.
Yeah.
Okay.
So during the night, I got to sleep on my own bed, like a big inflatable bed, while everyone else was sleeping on the floor.
Oh.
And he was always getting on top of my bed. He was like jumping on it, and I told him to stop doing it.
Frog Pants, stop it.
Yeah, and he pretended to pour Coke on my bed. I said, if you do that, I'm going to take your bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the next day, I found out that I couldn't be the leader forever.
Oh.
So then he became the leader.
Oh, goodness.
Yep. And then he was not the best. He's the bad leader.
Yeah,
And
Frog Pants is just doesn't sound like he'd be a good leader.
yeah. So we were trying to mind our own business, and I started doing things that I tried to give him a taste of his own medicine.
I gotcha. So you started pestering him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you started becoming a little bit like Frog Pants.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then a few days went by. He wasn't leader the entire day, thankfully. And then on the very, very last day, I had to get my glasses fitted. So I had to get my eyes checked for my glasses.
Right.
So my pupils got dilated.
Uh-huh.
Then he started making fun of my eyes.
Goodness.
Because they were dilated.
Right. That means the black parts were really, really big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked like I was up a long time.
Yeah, they do that so doctors can see inside your eyeball really good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it does make you look weird.
And those days were kind of miserable.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Yeah. Well, that's kind of it.
Okay. So Frog Pants was kind of a jerk.
Yep.
And then you became a little Frog Pants yourself. And then you got your eyes dilated. And they made fun of you.
Mm-hmm.
This is not fair for you. You should never be made fun of. So what I would do.
Well, this was before. This was in June.
Yeah. Well, what I would do if I were you, and this is just me as a 48-year-old man giving you some advice, is I would pretend to pour Coke on his bed. That's what I would do. Because that seemed like a good trick.
Yeah, he would always go to the vending machine and get Coke. I was like, okay, pal, you're drinking way too much Coke.
Yeah.
Wow, just
too
stop
much
drinking Coke. It's not good for you.
He doesn't need the caffeine. He doesn't need the sugar. He already has behavior problems.
Yeah.
Why is it that kids with behavior problems always have too much sugar?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it gives them superpowers. I mean, like bad superpowers, though. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I remember we had this kid when I was in Boy Scouts, and he was like a skinny kid, but he always liked to think he was really tough, and he talked tough. And sometimes talking tough, if you just talk tough, people kind of believe it, and they'll leave you alone. But we were at Boy Scout camp, and we were at archery where you were, shooting arrows, and we were actually making arrows, and he didn't want to make arrows. And so he talked tough to the leader. Now, talking tough to your people your same age, that's when it works sometimes, or people younger than you. But when you're talking tough to somebody older than you, that just makes them want to talk even tougher. And so he's like, I'm not doing this. This is for babies. This is dumb. And it's not for babies. It's making arrows. That's the coolest thing a boy could do,
Yeah.
And he said, oh, yeah? You want to go out there and talk about it? I'll pound you into the ground. And all of us boys looked at each other. And I'm like, that's the toughest talk that I had ever heard in my life at that point.
Huh.
I had never heard a grown-up. Or he wasn't a grown-up. It turned out he was a teenager, but I didn't know it at the time. To me, he was like a grown-up, and I'd never heard a grown-up tell a kid he was going to pound him into the ground. And let's just say that my version of Frog Pants, he totally backed down. He sat down, and he started making arrows like it was his favorite thing to do in the whole world.
Yeah, Frog Pants, he talked to the leaders like he was higher than them.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Like if he started being bad and the leaders told him to stop doing stuff, you talk to them back.
Ooh. Man, some kids, I don't understand it. Well, we've got some listener stories, and we're going to jump into them right now. This is from Ruth from Westminster, Colorado. It's called Axe Chop. Hey, James and James, I'm Ruth, and I'm 7 years old. This is my second story on the show. A few years ago, when I was at my grandparents' house, my grandpa had a stump with an axe in it for chopping up firewood. And I picked up the axe, which is not a good idea, by the way. And I immediately realized that it was way too heavy for me, so I tried to put it back. Another bad idea. You should have just left it alone. But I missed, and I hit my pointer finger instead. Oh. We were able to get a bandage on it, and it healed up. Hope this makes it on the show. Bye. Ruth from Westminster, Colorado. Well, you were very lucky, Ruth, because that's how you lose a finger right there.
Wait, did she get a Jeffrey?
A scar? Yeah, I bet she did. My brother almost chopped his finger off when he was a kid playing around with an axe, but I'll tell that story on another show. But he has a scar to this day, and he's a grown man, and he was a baby when it happened. So yeah, I bet Ruth has a little Jeffrey on her finger. Why don't you read us a story?
All right, I have a story sent in from Ronan called Pineapple Surprise. Hi, James and James. I have a story that takes place about 7 years ago. So my family was making a homemade pizza, and I used pepperoni on my pizza. Now I don't. Now I don't. Okay, so my mom put bacon grease on the pizza, and in the pizza pineapple cube thing that can use pineapple juice. So I took a big drink of the juice, but it was bacon grease. Oh no.
Yeah.
Hope it makes it on the show. Bye.
Oh. So, in case you missed that, they put pineapple on their pizza, and there was a can of pineapple juice. That's what the kid thought. But the mom had taken all the juice out and put grease in it from making bacon. Ugh. Goodness gracious, that would be so gross. Have you ever been drinking something and you think it's like soda? It turns out it's
Yep.
tea or water. And it just tastes so gross for a second, and then you're like, oh, it's tea, and then it's fine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Imagine if it was bacon grease instead, nice and warm, nice and thick, coats the whole inside of your mouth. You have to, I don't even know how you'd get that out. You know, usually with grease, you have to use soap and water. Can't imagine washing out your mouth with soap and water. That would be so gross. That you only wash out your mouth with soap and water if you're an old person and your kid said some bad words. That's what they used to do back in the day. It's what my grandma did. If you said a bad word, she would wash out your mouth with soap. I never said any bad words, so I never got washed out. But my sister did. I think she said butt one time, because butt was a bad word when we were kids. So if butt's a bad word for you, I'm sorry. But anyway, I remember we had some friends one time, and they would say butt, and we thought they were bad kids because they said that. But now it's just a part of the body, you know. Anyway, this is from Jessica from Thomason, Maine. And it says, hello, my name's Jessica. I'm 12, and I'm a huge fan of your podcast. I have a little story for you. So recently, we got a new puppy about 2 weeks ago, and this is my first ever puppy. Well, congratulations. Everybody should have a puppy. A little background, though. She's supposed to be a family dog, but my little sister doesn't like taking care of her, and my college-age sister doesn't have much time, and my brothers don't care for dogs, so basically, she's my dog, and I'm really happy about that. Sounds like a sweet deal. Her name is Tally, pronounced Tally, and she is a Beagle Border Collie puppy. Super duper smart. So tonight, I was taking her on a walk in the dark, and at first, she loved it, and she was having fun, but suddenly she decided she was all done. She wanted to go back into the house, and somehow she knew exactly which way to go, and she ran all the way home, and she was waiting at the door. It must have been funny for the neighbors to see a dog running with such determination on its face. Jessica. P.S. I have a younger sister named Jenna. Hey, I have a daughter named Jenna. P.P.S. If this makes it on the show, I'll probably scream. Well, it did, so let's hear you scream. Hopefully
I can hear you.
Hopefully it sounds better than that. All right, James, read us another story.
All right, I have a story sent in from Norman called Booger Brat.
Oh.
So I was at my little cousin's 7th birthday party, and we were wrestling on the floor, as children do. The adults were chatting and eating cake, so they weren't paying much attention to what we were doing. However, seconds later, a girl's scream erupted from my lungs, because while we were wrestling, my cousin had done something unthinkable in all caps.
Oh.
He had pinned me to the floor, and when I was reaching out to his nose, one sweaty 7-year-old boy finger pulled out a booger.
Oh my goodness! That's against the rules.
All caps as well. Mm-hmm. He now had me pinned to the ground, and he was holding a wretched green nugget in his palm. I was still screaming and yelling, to my parents that the crazy boy had booger in his hands. To please
Help me, Mama! Help me, Daddy! This crazy boy's got a booger in his hand! Oh,
and to please help me.
yes! Please, Mom!
The adults noticed him and held him onto the ground. When he did the second unthinkable thing, he put the nugget of sliminess and drippiness into his mouth and swallowed.
Ah! Ah! Oh, gosh, that's the worst. Oh, this is rough. This is rough. I can't get it out of my head. Oh.
At this point, I was screaming at the top of my lungs, and the adults noticed, and removed the traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Norman, Cedar Springs, Michigan.
Oh, poor Norman. You should never have to go through such things. Oh,
No.
the things.
That's even worse than Jeffrey.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. That's why he called this story